feel like I am a kid playing like bus driver or something here with the sofa behind me. But anyway, oh, and I've got a very creaky chair. Good news. So we're going to do a chair class today, and we're going to do it for a few reasons. Reason number one, I had a request. Reason number two, this is a way that we can get way deeper into some stretches. And if you're anything like me with a lot of kind of the global tension right now, some of the usual things I'm doing to release stress and tension in my body don't seem to be working in the same way. So I wanted to bring this back out. It's a great go-to every once in a while. The other thing I should tell folks in advance, because sometimes we forget, myself included, this class, because we are going a little bit deeper with some of this material, you might feel this tomorrow or 2 days later. We call that DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So a great way to kind of reduce the risk of that happening is to maybe have a hot shower after. If you have a hot tub, use that. Lots of hydration and dairy products. If you're still doing dairy, dairy is a great way to help the muscles kind of rebound and restore after a program like this. So let's just start on our chairs, getting comfortable with them. And I always find when I sit on a chair, I perch. So there's actually a lot of space between my back and the back of the chair. I want to encourage you to kind of sit back now. Feel your back on the chair back. And we're all going to be using different kinds of chairs. So you might have to adapt and kind of make do as we go with this. Soften your shoulders. And maybe just flip your palms so they're facing up. Drop your chin a little ways and keep the shoulders back. And start to deepen your breath now. Maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze. Draw your attention now to the sensation of your feet on the floor. And as you continue to breathe deeply in and out, I want you to kind of feel each toe individually. So the sensation of the toe pad on the floor, kind of going one by one by one by one. And now feel the sensation in the heel of the foot. Feel the sensation around the outer edges of the foot. And then notice how you feel as you slowly start to open the eyes. Again, this is a great practice in mindfulness when we direct our brain to focus on one thing at a time. It pushes everything else away. And it might be something as silly seeming as just focusing on what the bottom of your third left toe is feeling. But that can sometimes be enough to push away the chatter. Good. So shoulders back, grab the bottom of your chair, tighten through the core, and I want you to just very gently lift one foot and then the other. I'm enjoying the creak, 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 creak. And now maybe lifting a little bit higher, keeping that core engaged, pointing the toes as the foot lifts. If any of y'all are desk workers like I am, because I don't always use my standing desk, but this is a great thing that you can do to just bring some blood flow. Maybe lifting a little bit higher. Good. And then I'm sitting up a little bit taller now, engaging through the core. Feet are flat on the floor or your mat. And I want you to just, well, outer edge. Number 5. And then come to the tummy gently. Just ate a piece of cold pizza, so very gently. That's why I don't teach a nutrition class. Right, and then the chest. Shoulders. Come down the arms. Back up. Back to the chest. I've switched kind of the alignment of the hands. Outer edges. And relax. Good. While we're still seated here, one ear to one shoulder. Breathe while you're doing this. Over to the other side. Breathe while you're doing this. Back to center. Roll your shoulders forward. Roll them back. And then placing the hands kind of just above the knees, a little bit of cat-cow here in a seated posture. So inhale, bringing the chest forward, nice arch through the back, looking up. Breathing in, and then exhale. Rounding. Inhale. And exhale. As you inhale, see if you can bring the shoulder blades together. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And let's come on up to a standing posture. I'm going to place my chair to one side. I'm going to start by using this as a little bit of a prop to help me balance. I'm going to weight bear on the leg that's closest to the chair. And then I'm going to start doing some, move this closer so I don't kick the sofa. I'm going to start doing some figure eights. So I'm going to bring my shoulder back, maybe hand to the hip to begin, slight bend in this knee, and then just gently doing your figure eights. So I'm trying to do this internal rotation this way, external coming out. And when you kind of really focus on it, it will start to become a little bit more fluid. Nice. I'm seeing knees in front of cameras. That's a good sign. You can add a little bit more range of motion. Notice what might be creaking or cracking. And then bring the foot down. Good. Shoulders back. Let's move to the other side. Again, taking a moment to set up. The supporting leg is going to be a little bit bent, shoulder back. I like the hand on the hip, but your arm can be out. It doesn't matter. Starting with that little exaggerated in and out. The idea of doing this is we're kind of grinding in that ball and joint socket, just kind of carving out crap that might be building up, which sounds gross. You're welcome. Maybe going a bit bigger. And relaxing, nice. So already I feel a shortness of breath, and that kind of is indicative of how much we're working physically. Okay, we're gonna move the chair in front of us now. So really what we're trying to do at this point is warm the body up to allow for some more comfortable stretching. Might be a little bit hard to see my feet, but they should be peeking out on either side of the chair. My toes are pointing away, so kind of nicely rotated out. Shoulders are back, and the moment I come into this posture, my bum is scooping way out behind. So I want to just tuck it under, and then I hold it there by lifting up and pulling in. So my ribs are curling in, and there's this nice kind of zipper of engagement happening up the abdominal core. Nice. From here, and you don't have to go deep, we're going to take a slight bend in the knees. And when you do that, if you're collapsing in, remember to just externally rotate out. So let's pull back up. And when you come down, you're externally rotating out. Good. Coming up and down. Hold it here. Now I want you to lift up to one toe base. So your heel has lifted, and put that foot down. Other side, lift to the toe and down. If it's comfortable, lift to both toes and down, which is why we have the chair. All the way up. Good. We're going to do that a few more times. So sink down, not too far. One heel lifts and down. Other side lifts and down. Both lift and down, all the way up. Take some deep breaths here. Think about how this is feeling. Maybe it's tough on the knees. If it is, you could do this standing. Let's do it. Dogs barking. Let's see how it feels if we do this standing. Lift one heel and down. Other side, lift and down. Now both lift and down. Let's do that again. One side and down. Lift the heel and down. Up on both sides and down. So here's the difference in doing it with the knees bent or doing it with straight legs. In the standing posture, you're working the calf muscles. When you come down with the bent knees, you're actually working the inner thighs right up into the pelvic floor. So it is your choice what you're going to do. I'm going to talk people through the bent knee. Let's go. Coming down, lift, down. Other side, lift, down. Both sides, lift, tighten the core, down and up. Coming down, one side, lift and down, lift and down. Both lift and down, push up. Once more, down, one side lifts and down, lift and down, both side lift and down, up we go. Once more this way, coming down, bent knees, one side lift and down, lift and down, both sides lift and down and up. Let's do it standing one last time. Lift and down, lift and down, both sides lift and down. Good job. Turn your chair to the side. Or I guess you don't need to turn your chair anyway. I need to turn my chair to the side. You're all fine where you are, as long as you have space behind it. Jeff, stay out of my tea. Okay. Warming the legs up. Now let's move to the upper body. Fingertips on the highest point of your chair. Take a few steps back as you start to sink into a flat back. I want my ears resting between my arms. Feel your feet flat on the floor, so don't lift up to the toe base or the heels. If you need to bend your knees a bit, you can. Pull in tight through your core. Tuck the hips under for a nice low back stretch. And start to really deepen the breath. We're going to start to add a little bit of a twist to this. So going slowly, being mindful with what's comfortable. Start to bend your right knee. And this allows you to start to kind of twist through your torso and starting to drop the right shoulder a little bit, coming into this twist. Hold and breathe. Straighten that leg. Move to the other side. So we're bending the left knee, a little bit of a twist here. And coming back. So we're back to center, and now keeping the hands where they are, see if you can bring the chest forward a little bit further, shoulder blades move together, keep that tail tucked. Let's do 4 deep breaths. And then release one arm down, rolling up. And bring your shoulders back, good. And just kind of swaying back and forth. It's a really super deep stretch. Keep the shoulders rolling back. Think about how that felt for you. So with that stretch, you want to feel the intensity. You want to feel like you're pulling stuff apart, but nothing should be shooting pain. And if you know that you've got some tender areas, just be gentle. Let's turn the chair around or turn yourself around. So we're going a little bit deeper by using the seat of the chair. So this one's a little bit more of an ease into it. So I'm going to place my hands on the seat of the chair. I like the palms, not just the fingertips. And then I'm going to step back. And then little step backs. And then we ease in here. So I'm trying to keep my legs straight, sinking back to ears between arms. Keep the tail tucked. For me, I want to lift up on the toe base. I'm pushing my heels down nice and tight through the core. Deepen your breath as much as you can. Bend your right knee, have a little twist. Straighten that leg back to the left side, a little bit of a twist. Back to center, see if you can go a little bit deeper here. And then release the hands, rolling all the way up. Maybe a nice stretch up and back. And again, just coming into a little side to side. Just enjoy a little bit of motion as you let the breath settle. Good. So keeping the feet wider apart than the hips, tail tucked under, shoulders roll back. Let's just do a little bit of work with our arms. Using the back of your hand as a guide, we're going to sweep forward and then pull back. Sweep forward, and I'm actually coming down and then back, and we can twist it a bit. We're going to repeat this with the chair, but this is going to start our range of motion. Sweeping down, coming back. Sweep down and back, down and back. See if you can get a little bit more range of motion here. Back and down and back. Great. Let's switch to the other side. So we lead with the back of the hand, coming down. Find your breath, find what works for you. Couple more. And here we are. Good. Once more, let's bring an ear to a shoulder. Coming back up and going to the other side. Good. Roll your shoulders. Okay, back to the chair. And back to my cup of tea. I'm back on a licorice tea kick these days because allergies and my throat gets scratchy. And if you've never had licorice tea, oh, and I don't even like licorice, but there's something so beautiful about it. So if this is an allergy season for you, check it out. It's really good. Okay, let's start using the chair as a way to go a little bit deeper. And we're going to start to incorporate the legs, but also the arms. So let's start with, I always get confused about how to explain this. Okay, so if you're beside your chair, hand on the top, turn and face the seat, bring a leg up. So the leg that I brought up is on the front of the seat. My other leg is lined up with the back of the chair. How's that for verbal cueing? Maybe that works well. Okay, so I've got my foot flexed here. And just get a sense of how you're feeling. Well, so I'm going to take my hand off the back of this chair. And now what I want to do is start to reach forward. So I'm lifting up through the core, hinging forward, reach, 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 reach. Try and keep your chin up so your head's kind of coming back. And then grab a hold of something imaginary and we pull back as we straighten and pull it right around behind. So you're opening up through the chest. So I realize I'm looking away from you. So when I'm reaching, what I'm doing is I'm coming and actually kind of twisting back and open, and try and keep your fist or whatever you're pulling, that imaginary handle, try keeping it crossing. Keep it crossing the chest, kind of lining it up between the chest and the shoulder. Don't go too high, don't go too low. But you're really looking for that twist and your hips are staying where they are. Okay, so let me get myself back set up and let's do 5 of these together. So reach, 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 reach forward. Feeling this in the hamstring and the quad. Pull back and twist. Reach forward and pull back. Reach forward, pull back. Reach forward and pull back. Come on back to center. Stay facing the chair the way you are, but let's switch legs. Nice and tall, hips are tucked, maybe foot's out on a slight angle, and we're going to do it again on the other side. So whichever leg is on the chair, it's your opposite arm that you're reaching forward with. So when you're ready, do it slowly first to begin kind of sense that direction you want to go in, get a sense of how far down you're coming. Remember, chin up. And then we pull back. Keep the core tight as you're doing this. Let's do our 5. So reach, reach, reach. As far as you can go, a little bit further, and then pull back. Reaching. Pull back. Reaching, try and keep your foot flat on the floor. Pull back. This side is so much harder for me for balance. Reach, reach, reach. Pull back. I think this might be our last one. Reach even further. Reach, 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 reach. And pull back. Go a little bit further back. And release. Good. A little bit of a shake here. Lots of deep breath. And then keeping your feet pointed out, shoulders are back. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, start to ragdoll down. Knees can bend a little ways, but just let yourself collapse down towards the floor. Shake out your hair. And then slowly rolling all the way up. Shoulders come back. Amazing work. Good. Okay. We're going to come back to the chair now, and we're going to use this to do a little bit of a hip tuck. Again, thinking about pelvic floor, thinking about just getting some more blood flow to that low back area. And when we have discomfort in that area, we tend to walk differently, and this is where we hold our tension. So let's start with one foot coming forward. So I've got my foot that is on lining up with the front edge of the chair. So I'm a little bit more than a 90-degree angle, I guess. I step forward, that flat foot. And I want to lean in here. And I'm actually holding the back of the chair for support. Chest is proud, shoulder blades come together. I've got a flat foot now, but I'm going to lift up to the toe base. And I'm going to, from here, tuck the hips under as I bend my knee a little bit. And then I want you to scoop out. So tuck under and scoop out. Tuck under and scoop out. Are you feeling this all working? We'll tuck under and scoop out. Once more, tuck under and scoop out. Good. Hold here, push your heel down. Beautiful. I want you to take your free arm, extend up, tight through the core, and start to move forward. Think about this as a modification of humble warrior. So I'm starting to come down. I'm actually going to rest my chest on my thigh. Let your head gently hang. Lots of deep breath. Good. Coming back up. Releasing from the chair. Little shake. I'm laughing because I'm already feeling this in my leg. I'm like, oh, this one's going to be one to carry with us for a few days, which is not a bad thing, I have to say. I'm going to move my chair to the other side to set up this way. Okay. Stepping up, foot on the chair. I also appreciate the fact that I'm taller, so this might be more comfortable for me. If you are shorter in stature, or what I would call regular normal sized human, then this might be more of a step up. So I'm just mindful that my experience might be different than yours is. Good move there, Jeff. Okay. I think I'm going to come back a tiny bit. Excellent. So from here, let's take a moment and lift up onto that toe base. And then we tuck under. And push back. So we're scooping under, nice tight through the core. And then we scoop back. Tuck under. Scoop back. Tuck under. And scoop back. Good. Let's bring the heel down. Sweep the arm forward. And then gently sinking down here. Come all the way up and releasing. Again, just a little bit of a sway, helping the lactic acid to move through the body. Great. Coming back to the other side. Of course, if any of these feel really good to you, there's a chance that could happen. I have a few of these that I really do like. So if there is something that you're feeling going like, yeah, that makes me feel strong, or I feel I'm getting a nice release, try and remember it, because you can just do this on your own, obviously. And you can do like 10 minutes of this one thing if you like. Or 3 minutes. Or 2 minutes. Like 10 might be a bad suggestion, might be too much. Okay. Now we want to come through a little bit of a hip roll. This is always hard to explain, but it feels great. Some of you have done this before. So again, facing the side of my chair, I'm going to bring my foot back up. My supporting foot, I want to point away so that when I'm bending my knee, it's coming out to the side. Now, this foot on the chair, I'm going to roll onto the outer edge of the foot. So my knee is flopping out to the side towards my camera. So what's going to happen now is we're going to start to bend that supporting knee. We come down. So we're coming down. This is opening up nicely. And then as you straighten the leg, you want to bring this leg kind of back to the midline, and then that hip, you're welcome. Love how I'm pointing my butt towards the camera, but we're just kind of tucking the hip up. It's a really nice stretch across the low back. So we sink down and open. I'm breathing in here, and then exhale, slowly pushing up and popping as that knee moves across the midline. Do a few more of these. Inhale down. Exhale, up and twisting. Inhale down. Exhale. I love this stretch. Inhale down. Let's pop it up. How about one more here? Coming down. And pop in or up. Good. Release. I want you to stand with a hand on the chair after we do something like that. Now we're going to do a bit of a figure eight with the hips. And we're doing that to make sure everything goes back into the proper alignment. So I'm going to roll one hip back using my toe base to kind of pivot on. So I'm coming around the other side now. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which is probably 5. Let's come to the other side, please. So again, we're going to start with the foot up on the chair. My supporting leg, the foot comes out on a slight angle. I'm going to roll that foot over. So now I'm on the side of the foot. My knee is coming out to the side. And again, thinking about where your midline is, this is how we track this. So as I bend my supporting leg, I'm actually bringing my knee further away from the midline. And then as I start to straighten that supporting leg, the knee is coming up, crossing the midline, and the hip is popping up. Slowly lower. Coming back up, crossing the midline with your knee. Let's slowly lower. Trying to keep my back fairly straight. Up and over, pop that hip. Really think about this stretch that's happening through here. It's pretty weird, but should be good. Let's come back down. Up and over. Coming down, maybe a little bit lower this time. And up. And back. Good. Let's release. A little shimmy shake. Okay, last time we were rotating away, at least I was, because that's the easier one for me. Now we're going to use the balls of our feet to pivot, but we're going to roll around and forward. It's so awkward. So last time I did this, now I'm doing this. So that's one. And I'm doing 2. This seems ridiculously hard for what it is. This may be the best thing I'm going to do for my brain all day. I'm not even counting. Let's do like 2 more of these. Let's do 1 and A 2, good, shake it out. Shake it out and forget that ever happened. Okay, okay. One more stretch using the chair up here with our legs, and then we'll do a little bit more for our shoulders and chest before coming down for my favorite chair position. Okay. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, I lose track of time, but we did the gate pose. When I come in from a hike these days, I should rephrase that. Often when I come in from a hike these days, I remember to do some stretches. Doing lunges, super important, obviously, but doing the gait or a modification of the gait can be really effective for keeping the hips happy. Using a chair is one of the most effective ways you can do it. You don't even have to unroll your yoga mat. So to do that, I'm going to step out from the chair. And then I'm going to rest the side of my foot on it, just like that. Again, depending on your height and depending on the height of the chair, even just standing here might be super intense. You could roll your foot so that it's flat on the chair, or you can keep it on the side. Be mindful of too much pressure on the knee. And if you have to kind of soften this a little bit with the bent knee, you can. Take your supporting leg and the foot, rotating out to the side. Tuck your hips under, nice and tight up through the core, shoulders back, resting an arm. Taking some deep breaths here. Excellent. I'm going to sweep my arm up, scraping the wall. Nice and tall, lift, 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 and then starting to cross the midline. Let's release, bending the supporting leg, sweeping down, and once more up. And crossing over. Beautiful. And releasing. Simple. Don't have to do it for long. Let's switch to the other side. Placing your foot. Roll the foot, or you don't have to. Supporting leg comes out slightly to the side, resting an arm, reaching up. Slowly cross over the midline. Deepen your breath, and as I'm here, I'm trying to get a little bit further through my fingertips, a little bit further opening up the side body. And then releasing, we can bend that leg. And then coming back up, reach, 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 and then cross the midline. And releasing. Good. Just turn your chair for one moment like this. Step way back onto the toe base. Sink down through the heel, keeping the legs straight. Just ease in, and as you're easing in, pull back through that front hip. And just decided to randomly add one more stretch. Good. Coming back up. Step back with the other foot, landing on the toe base. Sink down to the heel. Leaning forward as that front hip starts to pull back hip starts to move forward. and releasing. Great. All right, here we go. So sitting back on the chair, and every one of the positions that we've been doing today, for the most part, we do them in some form, either standing without a chair or down on the mat. And so often when you change the position and change the use of the props, we shift where the center of gravity is, which is really where kind of the most torque comes from for these stretches. So we do figure fours often. I am a little bit away from the back of my chair now, just so I can comfortably have my feet flat on the floor. And now I'm going to come into a figure four seated. Now, I've got my kind of just above the ankle, resting just above the top of my knee. I do figure fours a lot. And right now, this is feeling really, really intense. So I'm going to make sure my shoulders are rolled down. I'm going to deepen my breath. And I'm going to try and soften into this to see if some of this tension can dissipate. Ease forward just bit by bit. Check your breath. And as I'm easing forward here, I'm trying to keep my back straight. I'm not just kind of curling down or into myself. I'm going to come back up. I'm going to take one moment to see if applying a little bit of pressure through this knee is going to feel good or not. And I'm not sure. So I'm going to release. And then I'm going to gently push and pull this knee up, grabbing it tight here with my opposite arm. I'm going to slowly turn and look over my shoulder. Back to center and gently supporting that leg back down. Maybe a little bounce of the feet. Roll the shoulders down. Let's move to the other side. If this is feeling horrible, skip it. Maybe just do some cat-cow. But if you can get through this, give it your best shot. Okay, setting up on the other side now. I'm immediately forgetting there's a class and I'm going into my brain going, why are my hips so tight? But then I just remembered I spent yesterday standing around outside. So because this side is really tight as well, I just caught my foot flexing. So I'm going to remind my foot to relax. I'm deepening my breath, just trying to ease further and further into this. All right, come on, back up, roll the shoulders, grab a hold of that leg with the opposite arm, adding a little bit of a twist. Keep going with the deep breath. And then releasing. Again, if it feels good, maybe a little bit of pressure here. I'm not sure, so I'm going to let that go. Okay, before we come down to the floor, one last way that I like to use the chair. This is going to either work for you or it's not, depending on what kind of a chair you have and your height in relation to the back of it. So what I want to do is I want to scoop one arm around. So I'm kind of blocking the back of the chair with my elbow. And then I'm going to do that on the other side. My butt's going to scooch back a bit. I'm going to come up on my toes because I want some kind of help from my feet. Now I'm going to try and ease forward, bringing my shoulder blades together as my head comes back. Lots of deep breaths. See if you can hold it for a few more breaths. And then slowly releasing. Good. Bring your feet out to the sides. I'm scooching forward a little bit more. I'm going to sweep up. Leaning to one side. While I'm still pushing my knees back here all the way up. And other side. All the way up. And then kind of flopping down forward. Rolling back up. And then we're going to come on down to the floor. Now, I'm not even going to unroll my yoga mat. I will tell you, this posture is great for anxiety. It's great if you are feeling completely spun out, if your brain won't settle. It is grounding and it just forces you to feel like you are safely secured. And so everything can settle. So all I'm going to do here is come on down to the back and rest my legs on the chair. You could do this on a sofa as well. And then find a spot for your arms. Maybe all the way back feels good, but do what feels best for you. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, breathe really deeply, and just surrender to this posture. Just let peace fill your body.
Here, start to pull your feet back. So just kind of your toe base is on the seat of the chair. And then bring the soles of your feet together. So this becomes a little bit of an assisted butterfly posture. And we'll take a few more breaths here. And pull the knees towards the tummy. Give everything a nice tight hug. And we're going to roll onto one side using your hand as a cushion. And then when you're ready, pushing up to a seated position. Just take a moment, let everything settle, and do a quick check-in with yourself, noticing how you feel. That's quite an intense practice. So just make sure you are good. And then we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart, lifting up the chest nice and proud. And take a moment to breathe in all of that amazing positive energy that has been created all around you. Let it soak deep into your being. And then take another moment to accept my gratitude. I appreciate folks joining me on Sunday mornings, building out this community, and for trying things that might not be comfortable, but doing so in a way where I could actually see some smiles this morning. So that's quite a nice treat. I continue to welcome suggestions and feedback and requests and all of that great stuff. I hope that your day is amazing, that the week ahead is amazing, and that your life is full of blessings today and always. Namaste.